Welcome to another connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the show this week. Each Monday we come into our Studio B and invite different organizations to come in, and we obviously want to know what they're doing, and we want to see how they impact our community. We've been doing the Connection Show for many years, and we appreciate all the viewing audience out there. We are the local television station out of Harrison, and we cover a pretty good area, and we have a lot of people around the area that watch us either on the cable systems or on the broadcast off of the antenna. So we appreciate it. We also put it to our Facebook and to our website. So you have a lot of different ways to pick up the different interviews that we do with these organizations. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We'll have one of our regulars that usually comes to see us once a month from the Boone County Senior Center. Be back in a moment.
I'm Brittany. I work in the operatory. I assist the doctor and I make our patients as comfortable as possible. I've never worked for anybody that seems to care for her staff like she does and really cares for her patients. The best thing about working here really is seeing people get the smile they've desired for years and seeing the outcome of happy tears and smiles.
Dental Creations on the square in Harrison, next to the Big Red Boot.
Engine threats lurk around every corner. Corrosion, wear, and gunk. Stay ahead of engine threats with Shell V Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. The best total engine protection you can get. Choose a breakthrough in premium gasoline.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our guest to start today is from Chris Kendall from the Boone County Senior Center. Thank you, Chris, for coming back again. We appreciate it very much. Getting busy this time of the year, I'm sure.
Yes, yes.
I was looking at, you sent us your calendar. I always go through it, and lots of different things going on. I'm going to have to get out there for one of your wonderful lunches one of these days. I hear a lot of the seniors talk about, boy, they have the best food out there, and then they get to go around and talk to all their friends, and it's a great gathering place.
It is. It's wonderful, and we serve anywhere from 70 on a slow day to 125 or more on a really good day, and so there's several people to interact with, and we have games there at the center and puzzles that people can sit down at the table and put together, or find a game that you'd like to play with someone else, and the meals, like you said, are really good. Most of them are made from scratch. They're at the center. Our food service manager gets there at 6 a.m. every morning and works really hard, and he's very proud of, he takes pride in his work, and he gets really upset if something doesn't turn out quite the way he wants it to, and so but for the most part, our meals are really good, and like I said, they're cooked from scratch. And we also have nutritional information available if anyone would like to look at the nutritionals from our meals. We have the ability to print out the nutritionals from each meal. So
let's talk about a little bit, for those of you out there who may not realize, just as equally important is the Meals on Wheels program that you do, and you're covering all of Boone County, if I remember right.
We are. That's correct, and we've just hired another home delivered meal driver to help with our volunteer routes that have gotten so large that it's taking the volunteers so long to handle these routes that we felt that it was time to hire another driver, and so that driver will be in town, but also may go out of town as well, depending on our need. And I expect our need to grow. I know that there's more people out there in the county that we just haven't reached yet. They don't know that the service is available to them, and so if you live within Boone County, please call us and qualifying for Meals on Wheels is, you have to be age 60 or above, or the spouse of someone who's 60 or above. and be homebound and not have someone available to make meals for you during the day. And so if someone is struggling with that, if you know of someone that's struggling with that, please refer them to us and ask them to call us, and we'll see what we can do. We come out and we do a home visit and just gather information to be able to serve that person, and most of the time we can get meals started the very next day.
Wow.
And so depending on the location and the need, if someone is in dire need, then we'll make sure that we get the meals to them the next day or even the same day if at all possible. But we can get services started as soon as the next day. So
Well, that's a good point that you made, Chris. If somebody out in the viewing audience happens to see the show and you think, well, I know of an elderly couple or elderly person, a lot of times these elderly people, they got a lot of pride and they just don't like to ask for help, but they need help. And so if you know of one that maybe is not getting adequate food, they maybe can afford it, but they're just not able to get out, please contact the Boone County Senior Center. Tell them about it, that it is available at no cost to them. It's a service that's available for these seniors, so please take care of that. Lots of things going on in February out there. Oh my gosh, let's talk. You do have something, and I'm glad that you have out there. Also at the Senior Center, they do screenings. They have a program with North Arkansas Regional Medical Center. They come out once a month. Is it same time every month, basically?
it is. It's the first Tuesday of each month, and they're there from 9 to 11.
Okay.
And they'll do blood pressure screenings and cholesterol, and they poke your finger and they do the sugar count as well. And so, and I think there's a couple of other screenings in there too that I can't remember what the names of them are, but. It is a very vital service for our seniors. They, and they do this at no cost. And so, there's no fee for the seniors, and there's no fee for the center. It's volunteers that come out and do it from the hospital. So
is it the first Tuesday?
It is the first Tuesday of every month from 9 a.m. till 11.
Okay, very good. Well, I looked at the calendar. She's got a lot of things going on in February. So I want to. Do you remember everything?
And there's quite a few things.
Why don't you kind of start off? I guess
the
13th. You got the casino trip.
Yes, we have the casino trip. We're going to go down by Fort Smith to the Cherokee Casino down there, and that'll be on the 13th. We'll leave at 8:30 a.m. There is a sign-up sheet, and so if you would like to go, you'll need to either call the center or stop by and get your name on the list. We're limited to about 25 people that we can take each time, and so that gives us 2 drivers that we can take to the casino, but also leaves a driver here in Harrison that would be available to take people where they need to go here in Harrison too. So we don't have to stop transportation services. We might slow them a little bit, but services are not stopped here in Harrison because we're going on a trip. Okay. And then we have Fun with Chocolates coming up before Valentine's Day. Is that today or tomorrow? Is that?
I think
it's on the calendar.
Today.
Is it today? Okay.
So they missed it when they see the show. Speaking of chocolates, Valentine's coming up.
Yes, 14th. We have Valentine's Day coming up, the 14th. Yeah. We nothing real special at the center, but Valentine's Day is coming up, so remember that sweetheart of yours.
The big thing coming up is Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras, yes. Mardi Gras last year was so much fun. We had a live DJ and playing music, and we put colors over the lights, and so we kind of dimmed the lights a little bit. And we have a punch table, and we have a table that has the king cakes on them. We have a his and a her king cake, and so if you're familiar with any of the Mardi Gras traditions, there's a baby hidden in the his cakes and her cakes. Even I don't know where the baby's going to be hidden, so. You can't really figure it out. It's hidden well. But if you find either one of those babies, then you're either the king or the queen of Mardi Gras. And we have a wonderful crown that you get to put on that night. And this is a fundraiser for the senior center. We have things that are really fun, and so we call them fundraisers instead of fundraisers. Yeah. But this one, we have a suggested donation at the door of $5 for members and for children under 4. And then we also have a rate for non-members. Is that $10?
Okay.
I think it's $10 for non-members.
Right.
And that's going to be February 17th at the Senior Center, 1516 Rock Springs Road.
Okay.
And that's going to be from 5 to 7 p.m.
Okay. Now, you're closed on the 19th because that's President's Day.
Yes, we are.
What's the birthday celebration on the 23rd?
We have ice cream brought in. A Hillcrest Home is generous enough to come in and bring ice cream for us to celebrate anyone's birthday who's in February.
February birthdays.
Yeah.
There you go. Beanbag baseball. We got about 4 minutes, so I don't want to miss anything.
Beanbag baseball is kind of like it sounds. You toss a beanbag at the board, and you have the luck of either landing in first, second, third, or home run, or you can strike out as well. Or I think there's a foul on the board
Play
too.
inside?
Yes, we play inside. And you toss the beanbag, and wherever it lands, then you go to that chair and sit down. You can sit down on first, second, or third base. And then, if you're lucky enough to make it home, then your team scores a point. It's a lot of fun, and it's low impact, and so it's great for seniors. Something that you may not have seen on the schedule, though, that we have coming is chair volleyball. And it's just like it sounds as well. You sit in a chair and you play volleyball. We have a big net, and you have 6 players on each team, give or take. You can have more or less. But we have a beach ball that you toss or you hit over the net, and if it goes out of bounds or if it hits the floor, then you get a point.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
A lot of fun, and one of the hardest parts is actually staying in your seat. If you stand up from your seat, then you're out, and the other team gets a point, and that's really difficult to do when you can get up out of your seat.
We've got a couple minutes left, I think. Exercise classes, you still have different exercise classes?
Yes, we do. We have Extension Get Fit on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Silver Sneakers on Wednesdays and Fridays, and we have Peppy on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
And then we also have the full gym, of course.
Right.
And we never charge a fee for any of our services, but we ask for donations for all. And I was going to mention about the home-delivered meals that some people, they think that we are a government entity, and so they don't want to accept help from the government. And we are not a government entity. We are a nonprofit. We do ask for donations for our services, but we understand that some can't afford it, and so we don't turn anyone away for inability to give that donation.
Yeah, a lot of people out there, particularly seniors, again, older generation, a lot of pride there in many instances, and if they think it's something the government's got a handout going, they just don't want to get into it. This is not a situation like that. So keep that in mind if you're out there and you know of a senior. Got about a minute left. Did we cover everything? I know you always need volunteers if you need somebody like to volunteer.
We especially need volunteers for our home-delivered meal routes now. The person that we hired for our home-delivered meals was actually one of our volunteers that has been 3 days a week. And so we definitely need volunteers to help cover those routes. It should only take about 30 minutes for each route once we get our new driver trained and the routes set up.
So if somebody's out there got a little extra time, you can volunteer any amount of time would help them. I mean, you don't have to be a whole day deal, or it could be a couple hours or whatever, I'm sure.
An hour or so, one time a week.
Yeah.
And what I'm learning is homeschool parents, they bring their children with them, and it's a great learning experience for the children because they get the sense of helping the community and helping someone else, and helping, a community organization.
Very good. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure having you come in, Chris.
Thank you
Kendall
for having me.
From the Boone County Senior and Wellness Center. It's on Rock Springs Road out here in Harrison. If you'd like to volunteer, very rewarding experience. But also, if you're a senior, know where to go, want to have a little fun, go out there. They have a great time, good food. But the camaraderie is amazing out there, and it's a great facility. Thank you, Chris. Good luck for the month of February. We'll see you sometime in March. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We got a young lady coming in from North Arkansas College to talk about a big event coming up there on Connection. Many things have changed over the years, and so has auto body repair. Even though Ozark Auto Body has been in business for over 30 years, they continue to change with the times. They believe protecting the environment is important and have done so by using environmentally friendly waterborne paint from PPG. This aligns with the technology used by original manufacturers and gives you a lifetime limited warranty. Quality PPG waterborne paint, ASC certified personnel, plus 24-hour towing service. Ozark Auto Body in Harrison, always taking pride in excellence. Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the show this week. Our next guest in the studio hadn't been with us for a long time. She used to come in a lot. I don't know, maybe she doesn't like us anymore. I don't know. Rebecca Martin from North Arkansas College. Thank you, Rebecca, for coming in. Rebecca, you have been with, I know, at the college for some time. Mm-hmm. Give me a little bit of oversight of what you're doing, and we want to talk about actually your program a little bit, and then we'll get into the event coming up.
Sure. Yeah, I've been with the college. I'm starting my 11th year. Mm-hmm. They've put up with me out there. So I just recently took over as the program manager for my program, which is Career Pathways Initiative. Okay. It's a really cool program. It's an economic development program, and it is for parents who want to go to college. Okay. 2 qualifications. There's an income qualification, but it's really high. For example, a family of 4 could make about between 61 and 64,000 a year and still qualify. Okay. And they have to have children under the age of 21 living in their home. Okay. But if there's any parents out there that's ever thought about going to college, this is the best place to start. It's kind of scary to go back if you've been out of school for a while. If Pathways would have been around when I went to school at North Ark, I would have been a Pathway student.
Let me ask you a quick question there. It triggered a thought. Okay, so if there's a parent out there watching the show and they think, well, this sounds like a program that I've kind of been thinking about, did they have to have already gone to college, or could they, if they haven't been to college, does it work for them?
If they haven't been to college, if they need some workforce training, if they want to get their GED, if they've sat there and thought, I don't want to do what I'm doing anymore, I'm ready to try something new, or they're just looking for a change, and want to go to college, Career Pathways is a great way to start. And I say that because we're kind of a comprehensive program. We help with your intake process. We can do your advising. We do some career counseling with you. But not only that, but once you get in college, we do what we call intrusive advising. We find out not only how classes are going, but how life is going. Okay. We help with daycare. We can help with tuition, books, transportation. We buy school supplies, backpacks, everything they need to go to college and be successful. Wow. Yeah.
Now, is this like some programs that I know about and have dealt with? Is it funded through the college, or is it grant money? How do you get funded for that?
It's actually grant money. It's through TANF funds that come down federally to Department of Workforce Services. Okay. And then the Department of Higher Ed is over the program. We're in all the 2-year colleges throughout the state. Okay. It's an exciting program because it's one of the only economic development programs, or I say only, but one of the few that actually is giving a payback to the taxpayers for the money that they've paid in. It's just that successful. A huge number, up at about 87% of our students who graduate are still employed 18 months or further out. They're doing some studies right now that I think is really exciting, but they're looking at when a parent goes to college and they have children who see that, what effect does that have on the children too? And what we're finding out is the children are seeing their parents go to school, so, I should go to college too. Mm. It is truly breaking the cycle of poverty is what it's doing. It's a great program. So
if let's say there's somebody watching and they say, well, this sounds like a really good program, I'd like to do this, but I'm working part-time at a fast food restaurant, or I'm working full time, or can they get into the program? Is there availability over using the internet or night class? I mean, how would that work?
Sure, that's the great thing about North Ark. Where you're a college,
Right.
There's ways to build a schedule around people who work. I mean, there just is. You can take online courses, you can take night classes, you can take day classes depending on your schedule. But myself or even any of the advisors over on South Campus can do that and, make it work for you.
Is there as far as, you may have already said this, income, let's say one parent's working, making a pretty good living, the spouse is not, maybe never been to college, maybe graduated from high school but has been a mom and now can work. How does that affect as far as income? Is it paid for based on the income coming in, or
coming into the program there is an income qualification?
Okay.
But like I said, a family of 4 can make about $64,000 a year and still qualify. It gets from the 0 level to that medium level, I guess. But they just need to call me or come by and see us. We're on Center Campus. They can reach me at 391-3152 and let us talk to them. Again, it's nice to have some friendly faces. If you haven't ever been on a college campus, it's intimidating,
Yes.
So we're there to help them to get through that process and be successful. And like I said, I've been there on my 11th year. It's really kind of cool to go to the hospitals and the banks and different organizations in town and see students that I worked with. They're just so happy. They're so glad that they went back. I've never met a student who says, "Oh, I wish I had never gone to college." They don't. They're just in a different place. So
if you think about that, and actually the federal government's looking more and more now of the need, particularly of the need that 2-year colleges fulfill and or technical schools fulfill. There's a real shortage of the working class people. And I'm not saying if you're a white collar worker that you're not a working class person, but there's a necessity for people out there that either can't, don't want to, whatever. That's not their cup of tea to go to a 4-year college, get a bachelor's degree, or go to graduate school and get their master's, whatever. There's a need for plumbers, electricians, auto mechanics, medical field, just a wide range of people out there that there's shortages of in the marketplace today. I mean,
well, with the baby boomers, as they go out of the workforce, Gen X is not a huge population, so there are a lot of openings. We're lucky in this area to have low unemployment, but still to fill the nursing positions and the surge tech and the rad techs, the MLT field, everything on North Campus. Every time I go to North Campus, I just think, oh my gosh, these people are so much smarter than I am because of the automation and the electronics. It's just amazing what goes on over there, and the jobs that are available for, and really good starting pay. Really good starting pay.
I was talking to an employer. I won't mention any names, but they're a pretty big employer in Harrison, and they have a lot of trucks, big trucks. And I was talking to him one day, he's a friend of mine, and I said, "Well, how's the business?" He said, "Business is great." He said, "The biggest problem is we can't get drivers." And I said, "Well, why?" And he said, "Well, it's just there's a shortage of them across the country." He said, "The big companies like Walmart, J.B. Hunt, et cetera, there's a shortage there." He said, "Even with pay going up, starting pay $75,000, $80,000 a year with benefits, et cetera, we just can't get enough drivers." And I said, "Well, what about the female?" And he said, "We have probably more female drivers now than we did 5 years ago, and we still would love to have more." He said, "Because it used to, you didn't see many female that wanted to get in that business, but they do now, because a lot of the thing is that they just need drivers.
Right.
They don't need you to unload the truck.
Right.
You just back up and somebody else does it.
Exactly.
But from a technical side of it, I know we have a truck driving class.
We do.
At the Votech school here.
Yeah.
And but you talk about plumbers and electricians and carpentry and auto mechanics, diesel mechanics. Same person said he's got his own shop. He said one of the other big problems they have, we don't have any diesel mechanics. They need 3 more right now.
Right.
Just in this one business here in town.
Right.
So, what you're doing there is great, because it's giving adults, regardless of the age, an opportunity to either change professions or to get into the workforce.
Right. And the great thing with North Arc degrees, you're not there forever. I mean, 2 years, 2.5, or 2 years in a semester, and you can get your RN degree, and be on your way. It's amazing, and you get out and you select your employer. You're not begging for a job. I mean, there's employers out there that are looking for you, that are recruiting. So
that's a good point. It really is. You get in the workforce quicker. We've got about 3 minutes, so I got off on this, and that was great information because I wanted to know what you were doing. And for those of you watching this, if you're an adult out there, if we're not telling all the answers, we're running through this, give Rebecca a call. She's at the center campus. Career fair coming up.
Career fair on March the 8th from 10 to 2 at the Duran Center, which is on center campus. We will have usually around 35 to 40 employers, universities, volunteer sites that are there. Come dressed up, have a resume, be ready to, meet these people face to face. And people have been hired from this event. It's the one time you're going to get to submit your application to the person who's going to move your application through the process. So you really need to be ready to go when you get there.
So you've got other colleges and businesses from around the region, not just in Harrison. No.
Right, Mountain Home, Harrison, Russellville, Fayetteville, Springdale area. Yeah, they're looking. We've already got several signed up. We're still looking for employers. It's a great place to be. If you're job searching, or if you're even thinking about. I mean, here's how it could be. You're thinking about changing careers, but you're not sure what you want to do. Come to the career fair and see what they're hiring for, what interests you. A good way to know what you want to do is to volunteer somewhere. The nursing homes even have volunteer opportunities. It's a great place to go and volunteer, see if you want to be in one of the nursing fields or other health professions.
Yeah. Really get to talk one-on-one with some of these people there. Well, I've been there. You've been doing this for some time, and if you haven't gone to one of these career fairs, you should go. Even if you're even thinking about changing careers or whatever. Again, remind you, it's Thursday, March the 8th at the Durand.
At the Durand
Center, 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. It'll be set up there, and as Rebecca was mentioning about, they'll have a booth set up and all these different companies there.
Right.
So,
and if they're an employer and they would like to join or come out that day, they need to contact Rachel Nelson.
Okay.
And her number's 391-3546.
Thank you very much. Rebecca, thank you. It's good to see you.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
You gave me all kinds of information. Don't stay away so long.
Okay.
The career fair coming up. More information from Rebecca. Call them at the center campus. Thank you so much for coming in. Good luck with your career fair, and you look great.
Hey,
Keep up the good work.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Connection. Join us each week as we bring information to you about what's going on around the area.
Sullivan Pharmacy has been serving your prescription needs for over 40 years. Our professional staff is glad to assist you with prescriptions, over-the-counter medicines, and healthcare products. Stop by Sullivan Pharmacy if you have questions about Medicare Part D, and we'll be glad to help. If you're in a hurry, use our convenient drive-through window so you don't have to get out of your car. Sullivan Pharmacy, 731 North Main Street in Harrison, helping you feel better since 1965.
KTKO Channel 8 Harrison. Local television worth watching.